Hi and welcome to another Origami Expressions video. This time Valentine's Day is just around the corner. It's a good time to think about what you might want to give. Instead of a bunch of flowers, why not think about a paper flower in a paper vase? One of my other videos shows you how to make an origami tulip, so this one is how to make an origami vase. This is a very simple origami vase. It's actually known as a traditional Chinese origami vase in origami. You can make it out of some really nice paper, make it look pretty, like this one, made out of some traditional washi paper, or this one, which is made out of just ordinary origami paper. Pretty simple to do, takes 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, if you're ready, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to make a Chinese vase. You could use various different paper types for this one. Traditional decorative origami washi works quite well. I'm using a sheet of ordinary origami paper. We'll go for orange that side, a darker orange that side up. I'm just using this stuff, quite frankly, because it's what I had lying around. And I've gone for a reasonable sized piece of paper so you can see the folding instructions, so you can see the creases nice and easily. Right, so the first step for making the traditional Chinese vase is to fold a 12 by 12 grid. So if you're happy and comfortable to go ahead and do that, then please feel free. If not, then fundamentally, basically what we need to do is to divide the piece of paper into thirds in each direction. And then each third, divide those in half, and then in half again. So it's a fairly straightforward exercise. There's various different ways you can get thirds in a piece of paper in origami, but the easiest way, quite frankly, is to just do it. So you simply line up the pieces of paper, judge it as best you can, and just manipulate the paper around a bit until you actually get it. So I reckon it's probably somewhere around, what do you reckon, there? Looks pretty good to me. So we'll just kind of mark those crease lines like that, and then pop the creases in. So that's the piece of paper divided in thirds one way. Now we just need to divide each of these sections into half and in half again, which will get us 12ths in this direction. So here we go. You want to try and keep these folds as accurate as you can. Obviously, the more accurate that you make these creases at this stage, the more accurate your final model will be. Now, my accuracy is somewhat hindered by the fact that I've got the stand for my camera in the way, so you're going to have to bear with me a bit if my accuracy is not quite what you'd expect it to be, but it'll be good enough to give you the general idea. Okay, we're getting there. Doesn't really matter which direction these creases go in. But you'll see why we need them as we go through. Now you'll see when we get to the finished model that you actually don't need all of these creases, but most of them you won't really notice in the final model. You could, I suppose, if you really wanted to, work out which of these creases you need in the grid pattern and then not bother folding all of those, just use pinch marks so you can get the reference points. But that seems a little bit over the top for what it is that we're doing right now. So there we go. There's a 12 divisions of a piece of paper in one direction, so we just need to do the same in the other direction now. So just out of curiosity, let's see how accurate my folding was. So bear in mind, as I say, I'm having to fold this at a slight angle because my camera is in the way. But that, it's not great, but you know what, it's good enough. I won't tell if you don't. Right, so other direction. Divide the piece of paper into thirds again, which is right there, I think. That made me slightly off. Let's try about. Oops, wrong way. Getting that. Yeah, that's good enough, roughly speaking. So, 1/3. Two-thirds. And now we divide each section in half. And in half again. That's good enough. Sometimes it's easy to fold up to a mountain fold than it is to fold up to a valley fold. So if you're struggling to get the accuracy that you're looking for, you can do it like that and then fold up to a mountain fold, which can make things a little easier. It doesn't help, as I say, that I'm trying to do mine at a funny angle, but it'll do the job. So just push that to there. There we go. Get to there. Right. Okay. So you've seen me use a variety of kind of reference points and lines in terms of folding these divisions. Doesn't really matter which one it is that you prefer. As long as we get the paper divided into 12ths. Okay, so here is our 12 by 12 grid. Okay, so we have our 12 by 12 grid. Now what we're going to need to do is, you can see that we can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to want a valley fold along this line here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creases in and a valley fold. Okay, that was 5 creases in and a valley fold, and then fold back along this first line here, like that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 creases, and you can see there's a flap here over the center line. Then we're going to make this side look exactly the same as this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creases in. You can see that there's the valley fold. That should now line up and be effectively look like you've just done a folded piece of paper in half, but obviously you haven't. And then on the first crease there, fold it back again. And if your creasing was more accurate than mine, then that should line up all the way along. Because you have a kind of, you've hidden a kind of flap of two squares there, if you like. Then we're going to do the same on the other way round. So I'm going to rotate that round, and I'm going to count in 5 squares and do the same again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to fold that over there through all the layers, and then I'm going to fold along this first crease line here. I'm going to fold that all the way back. Okay, and again on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares in. There's the line. That folds over through all the layers. And on this first crease line here, fold all those layers back again like that. So in a perfect world, if my creasing and folding was accurate, those would all line up. So I'm just going to kind of force that a bit to try and persuade it that it really does want to. There we go. That'll do. So, as I say, it's not the end of the world if it's not perfect there, because you can just kind of ease it in and just kind of generally persuade it to do what you want it to do. Accurate folding though is always a good idea if you can. Right, so if we turn over, you can see we've got a kind of cross shape here. So, and this is going to be the base of our vase. So you can start to see the dimensions of the vase occurring. Right, these top flaps here, we're going to fold the top triangle in along that center line on both sides, like that. Now this is a series of steps we're going to do on all 4 sides, so I will show it, but once you've worked out what you need to do, once you can see what you need to do on one side, you can go ahead and do it on the other 4. So we folded in the top 2 flaps there. That is of course all supposed to line up nicely. I'm not looking at my folding accuracy there, but never mind. Unfold those and you can see we have a crease line here. If you take just the top layer, and fold along that crease line, you can see that the paper wants to fold down along the triangle line, the fold of the triangle that you just did. So you're going to kind of squash that down and you get a nice little square at the top there. That's great. So we're going to turn around and do the same thing again. So it's take hold of the top flap, fold it down along the center line, make a good firm crease, do that on both sides, like that, and fold them back up again. Take hold of just the top layer, and fold it along this crease here. There we go. Reverse the crease if you need to. Good. Persuade it, and it will come down. It will want to fold down along that line. You might need to stick your fingers in it. You might need to encourage it a little bit, but I promise you it will go. There we are. Like that. Rotate it round. Okay, let's see if we just do this a bit quicker this time. You're getting the hang of this now. So that's the top 2 triangles, fold down. There we go. Unfold them. and just squash those down there. Pretty simple. Spin it round. That triangle goes down. That triangle goes down. Unfold them both. And squash fold the two flaps. Like that. That one's gone a bit odd there in the corner. There we go. Right. Now, we want to do something very slightly similar here. So we're just going to fold this square here back so that on a diagonal, so that effectively this point goes to this point on the other side. I'm actually going to turn it over and do it, probably easier. So it's just take the top corner along the crease line on each side and just fold that down like that on both sides. This will become the locking mechanism that holds the vase in shape. So like that. Turn that round. And do these triangles here. Turn it round. Do triangles on this side. Oop, dear oh dear. There we go. And turn it round and do the last two triangles. Okay, so you have that. Just unfold those triangles again. And so we'll need those creases later, but it's easier to put them in now. So there we go. Now what we're going to do is going to fold all four of the edges into the center line, much like we did right at the start. So we're going to take this edge here and we're going to fold that into the center line, so you can see that this square lines up there. We're going to do the same thing on this side. So fold into the center line, like that. Do the same thing on this side. So there's the crease, fold into the center line, and then the last side is a little different. Okay, so we need to lock the vase in place. So here is the crease line. Oh, make sure my triangles are unfolded. Yes, they are. Right, here is the crease line. This time when we fold it to the center, which it will do, like that, we're actually going to want to tuck this whole flap under there. So these two corners will tuck right under there. So do it on one side, tuck it in as far as it will go, and then do it on the other side. Tuck it in as far as it will go. I should have done this on this side as well, I do beg your pardon. So this side tucks under there, and this side tucks under there. So two sides you've folded into the center and two sides you've tucked underneath the other side. Okay, so you can start to see the vase coming to take shape now. Those triangular flaps we folded down a moment ago, we can go ahead and put those back in now. So it's this triangular corner here. Now you can see the importance of, we've tucked these things underneath, and this folding down this triangular flap, this one here, you see that will fold inside like that. And it creates the edge of the vase and creates a nice little locking mechanism that holds all of the various bits of the vase in place and stops the sides popping out as soon as we unfold it. So that goes in there. And that one goes in there. this one goes in there. Right, now comes the moment of truth. We've got all the various bits in place. We just need to unfold the vase. I'm going to go around and make sure that these creases are good and firm, so we want those to stay in place so that the whole thing doesn't kind of pop apart. Right. Yeah, do that like a little bit more. Line up a little more precisely. So these corners should all line up. So that one doesn't quite either. So we're going to kind of persuade that a little bit. Yeah, like just like that. There we go. Okay, I've turned it over. Now you can see that one side, well, the two of these sides have got quite an easy access underneath, and two of these not so much. So, but you can still put your fingers in there. Now the sides that are easier to get to, if you reach inside, you can pull some of this paper out, like that, okay? And then we can do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to reach inside, we're going to pull some of this paper out. Now, this might feel a bit counterintuitive, but don't worry about it. The paper should not rip. If you folded this properly, the paper should not rip. It's just a question of actually kind of easing the piece of paper out. We're going to do exactly the same on the other two sides now. So I'm just going to reach in here and I'm going to pull that piece of paper out, and then same again there. Ease it out all the way. Try and get a nice, good straight edge here and a nice, good, crisp, clean corner like that. And then the final side, yep, reach in, pull the paper out. You might need to just kind of encourage it a little bit. Come on, there we go. And it will pop out, pop into shape. Push these corners in a little bit if you need to. And just kind of finally shape off the bottom of the vase. So you've got nice, good, clean, crisp corners. Like that. Everything's nice and happy. Turn the vase over, and there it is. You can do one last thing if you like, which is kind of give a little bit more shape to these corners here by just sticking your finger down in there and just kind of giving that a bit of a squeeze on the outside. That gives you fingers. If I compare now compare that corner to that one, you can see it's a little bit more three-dimensional, which I kind of like to do. So I'm going to do that all the way around. Like that. So I'm just going to shape up those corners. There we go. One Chinese vase. You could put a paper flower in there. Give it for Valentine's Day. I think that's quite nice. Not too difficult to fold. If you've enjoyed folding that, then please do check out my other videos on my website at origamiexpressions.com. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter. Good luck with it, and thanks for watching.